Welcome to the family of Death Note. I am Amber Frost and this is Chris Keller from Kujin Cosplay. She's too nervous to speak, so I'm gonna do all the talking right now. I'm a bit strange, but that's fine for me. So it's been a really huge adventure for us. Well, for her mostly to watch Death Note. It was amazing. So many epic moments. Take a potato chips, take it and eat it. Dramatically writing down, dramatically fall down, betrayal, sadness, heartbreaks. Wait! Finding out about the Shinigamis. Alright, so episode 37, guys.
Oh
Death Note.
It's happening. Sugar. It's the sugar. I'm so freaking nervous. Alright, let's see if anyone falls dead. Or if Light actually sold himself out.
Alright. Let's watch it, guys.
Let's go.
And you made it.
Oh.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god! It's okay! It's okay!
Wait, I need to stop my stuff.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Was it good? It was good, huh?
Yeah.
That's one. This show is so great, guys. From the beginning to the last second of it. The way they pull every single stories in it, the way they pull through the big climax at the end, and just the finale when Light
Ends up dead.
I
really loved what you said when you basically went and said he died in the world he created. So it's like you can argue like who won in the end. Everyone. No one lost in this. Like, Light ended up being captured, so L died, but his theory was proven right. So Nier and Mello won in his place. And then Light was captured, but Kira actually won. He created that world he was talking about. I also really love when you said that the first victim the Death Note made was Light Yagami. That's...
You know what I also
It's a huge tragedy.
It is tragedy, but technically... Technically, sorry, that's opening the door beside us, and it's sad because technically, I don't know if Kira did technically won at the end because he basically killed the most rotten person of that world, and that person is Light.
But that's the thing.
From what happened, Kira was the most rotten person of that world. And he died at the end.
He created his own nemesis.
Better world.
To create his better world, he had to be the villain. Because, like I said, when Nier was talking about him, he was saying, I had to do this. Like, I was the only one who could do this. And Nier was describing him as a murderer. He had to become this murderer in order to do what he wanted. His goal at the beginning was based off something that made sense. And it came of a very good intention. It's just that after that, he got so corrupted with power, with this illusion of grandeur. As soon as he started to try killing innocent people because they were trying to stop him for taking justice into his own hands, he was becoming, well, I mean, he was a murderer before, but he could explain it with his goals. But when he tried to kill the innocent, and when he actually did, that's when he crossed that line. That's when there was no coming back for him because he started liking it. When he killed Naomi, he was literally like gloating. He was twisting the knife. And I mean, it's one thing to say, I have to stab people. It's another to say, I'll twist a knife and I'll enjoy it, you know? So as much as he was trying to prove that, no, he had to do this to create a better world, it's everything else that makes him what I think is a villain. I know there's a lot of people, like when L died, I was assaulted on YouTube by a lot of Team Light. And it's okay, like I don't judge people because I mean, I cried my eyes out when he died, you know?
Yeah.
It's not about who you prefer or anything. Like, I don't care if you support Ryuk, who's actually probably the villain of this show.
Ryuk is the biggest one of all.
Yeah. But because I mean, it's not about that. This show is so realistic in the way that the characters are very well portrayed. Anyone with the power of the Death Note could end up killing people. Like, when I was in high school and Death Note was raging, we could buy these Death Notes everywhere. And I did mention it in an earlier reaction. We all tried to run in the Death Note, and the thing is, we thought, we knew it was not gonna work. But what if it did? What if it did? What would we do? We have the power to stop the wars. We have the power to kill the people that are, you know, the cause of so much death and suffering.
And
it's
we
easy
wrote
to
down
say.
names
Yeah.
of people who bother us so much that we don't like that much.
It's so easy to say I would not use it, but I mean, even people like Mr. Yagami would end up using the Death Note eventually. Although Mr. Yagami was probably the best character in this show, he was so true to what he believed in, and I mean, the others were as well. Like, L was genius in his profession. The only difference is, I think, compared to to Papa Yagami, L was more into this because he knew he could do it. Like, he was justice. He knew he could solve these cases, and that's why he did it. And I mean, it gave him this sense of accomplishment. But it's not like he would have done it if he had not had the brains for it. Like, he had not this passion not, I was about to say for justice, but he did not have the passion that Mr. Yagami had, and he was not. Well, he did do it in the end, but he was not as willing.
Papa Yagami and L would have made an awesome team.
If only he trusted him. Well, he did trust him.
He trusted him by the end.
Oh, how crazy would it have been, like, for these police officers, for Matsuda, to stand there and know that all along L was right and the guy they trusted was the actual Kira. It's like everything they believed in was crushed and they've been played. It's the actual tragedy. It's not a tragedy, but the thing that got to me in that scene was Matsuda being the one crying and shooting light because he could not take it. He is the only one who always stood by his side, even at the end when Aizawa was starting to doubt him, and the others were like, and the others were like, you know what? I'm not in this team for Light. I'm in this team for you guys. So if you have doubts on Light, I'm gonna follow you on this one. But Matsuda was always the one so happy to say, like, oh no, you know what? We're all okay here. And he was also starting to doubt that Kira might not be a villain, you know? That he might be a villain. He was doubting this because he was like, you know, I kind of understand why people support him. But I mean, I don't support him. I'm a police officer. But I do understand. He was that guy.
You can understand the reason why people would follow someone who... He did basically decrease the crime rate by 70%. Mm-hmm. He did stop wars. People are afraid to commit crime because they think they're gonna die. But even though those are good,
it's the means that are wrong.
The means are wrong, and the people are everybody is still living in fear.
It's too
because
much.
They think that no matter what I'm supposed to do, I could end up dead because someone will judge me.
It's too much power for a human with that much flaws, you know?
Yeah.
Every human being is flawed. We're not perfect. No. And when given too many powers...
But it's our imperfection that makes us perfection, though.
Oh yeah, our imperfections are what make us interesting. Which is why Ryuk went to our world in the first place.
Yeah, it is.
But why Light did it is the good thing. How he did it is the wrong thing. And especially since that Death Note basically killed his personality. It killed him. In the literal sense and in the other sense, which I don't remember how to say it in English, but still, it killed his soul.
Figurative?
And it killed, it killed his soul and it killed his body in the end.
Aww.
And it caused so many people's death.
Oh, yeah.
Misa killing herself.
Takada
Obviously, that's what she did. And Takada, yes, she died. Mikami killed himself as well. These people, and I mean, they're not the only ones who are going to kill themselves once they learn that it's over. Such an obsession is dangerous, and I cannot support people who are so in over their head. Like Mikami going in there, and he turns so freaking ugly. He's a very beautiful character, but he turns so freaking ugly when he lost it. And Light as well. It's not such a crazy idea that they did it that way. I think it's brilliant because it's like we're finally seeing who they truly are. We're not seeing the lies, the manipulation that they used on everyone else. We're seeing who they truly are, and it's not beautiful. It's really, really ugly. They lost it. And such devotion to someone. I mean, people write songs about stuff like this, but when it gets too intense, it's destructive. It's not nice. It's really, really not good. I'm just really sad that Light had so much potential, you know? He could have become the next Papa Yaga. I mean, we saw it when he had regained his memories and he was working with Elle. He could have been so good at this. He had so much to bring the world, and his idea of a new world worked. But when he was given the power of the Death Note, he started thinking that his dad's way would never work. And in a way, it's sad because it's kind of true. Like, as much as we try, we will never stop crime. We will never stop bad people. There will always be people ready to do bad things. If you do
think about it, from the beginning of when humanity started societies, we end up getting envious of what other people got, other people facilities, other people advantages, and people are gonna take that and take what they think they deserve, no matter what.
It's just that it's the easy way. To me, I think it's the book was the easy way, because you're not. You said it earlier, but you're not actually there doing the killing. You just write a name. It's so easy you don't realize what you're doing.
30 episodes ago.
We've been saying it all the time, but this time you said it also. And writing the name is the easy way. And so for Light, when he got that chance, he forgot. Well, he didn't forget, but he chose not to follow his dad's footsteps the hard way. Because it's so much easier to be the god of this new world and do it like the Shinigami do. But we're not meant to own that much power. Anyway, I got my happy moment with Nier basically saying that Nier, himself and Mello apart are not as good as Elle, and they will never be. But when they are together, they are just as good, and they can even surpass him. And that's what we've been saying all along.
I watched that show almost 10 years ago, guys. And that's the only phrase that I remember of that show.
Yeah. I understand why.
I go by it.
To me, Elle won. The people that were following him, the people that were trying to abide by his ways, the people that were trying to become the new him, they won in the end. And I mean, it's no mistake that Mello and Nier were both in line to be the next Elle. It's like they said, everyone at that place, they sensed that these two together maybe could do things. And they were meant to lose, like they were bound to lose eventually if they kept apart, but to have Mello do something, and now we know that he did it knowing he was gonna die, and it was gonna maybe give Nier the push he needed. Yeah.
To win against Kira, yeah.
He was selfless in the end, and this is very good because people think we don't like Mello online. It's not true. It's half and half. Like, some people are like, you are so quick to forgive what Mello does, but he's basically just like I agree. Like, Mello's ways were not the right ways. He was too brash, and he was too intense and too ready to kill people to get what he wanted. But for him to at the end decide that his personal victory was not what mattered, and he had to die in order to make this work, that kind of what's the word, he got his redemption a little bit, you know. In my eyes, at least, it makes him a little better. So now Elle and Light are playing chess up there or down there. I don't know where nothingness is, but still
it's everywhere. It's nothing.
And Ryuk lied all the way through.
Yep.
It was so crazy to hear him, like, at
and
the end.
And Ryu is gonna survive them all. Ryuk is gonna survive.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. He's never gonna love a human, you know? He's never gonna get himself killed. But to hear him at the end do that narration and be so calm, the game is over. Now he's just reminiscent of what happened, and he's just like, oh, we had a good time. Now it's over. And he writes like, yeah, I'm like, I did not expect to cry this much. I think I cried a bit because the show is over, and we got our
you
last
cried
moment.
of the way they showed the ending of it. How
Mostly.
Misa and
I cried for Misa.
and our light end, because for that kid who had it all, it basically had it all to die with nothing.
And it's
that's a huge difference.
You also remember
Huge step.
they showed us like clips of the first episode, so we get to remind ourselves of who we used to be, and I grieve for that kid.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was such a good show. I cannot wait to go back home and watch the live actions now. I swear to God, though, the last scene in live action was too intense in the movie. I was laughing all the way through, but in the anime, I just wanted to cry.
That's why the show is so good.
Oh, it's just I know now why people love Death Note that much.
Yep. All right. So we're done with Death Note, guys. It was really fun for me to watch it again with you and to make her watch the show. Finally.
I freaked out a lot during this, but it's over. So we're gonna get ready. Like we already had the poll on Patreon about which show was gonna replace this one, and we got a winner. So we're gonna start working on this new show. And I mean, give us a couple weeks maybe, and then we'll be back with the first episode of this show. And thank you guys so freaking much for watching us watch this, for fighting with us on Team Light or Team L. I started with L all the way through, but if you're Team Light,
no one, so I'm fine either way.
If you're Team Light, though, I still love you guys. I love to debate with you, so I hope we see you again. I hope we see you again in the new show. And yeah, thank you. Bye.
Have fun, guys.